let's dive into Leviticus chapter 17 today. We're going to unpack some key rules in this text, really focusing on sacrifice and blood and what that all meant.
Yeah, absolutely. This chapter, it really lays down some, well, foundational rules for the Israelites, how they were supposed to handle life, really, especially animal life, in worship and just, daily living.
So, okay, right off the bat, it talks about where sacrifices had to happen. Seems pretty strict. Like, if you sacrificed an ox or a lamb or a goat, it had to be brought right to the entrance of the tent of meeting, period.
And it's fascinating how serious they were about it. If you sacrifice somewhere else, even just like outside the camp somewhere, the text calls it bloodshed, straight up. And the consequence, being cut off from his people.
Wow, cut off. That sounds drastic.
What is it meant being totally excluded from the community, a huge deal. And they give him the reason, right? It was to make sure sacrifices went to the Lord, only at that spot.
And not to, what was it, goat idols?
Exactly. Goat idols to whom they prostitute themselves is the phrase used. So likely some kind of, pagan nature spirits or deities they were tempted to worship out in the wild. This rule was meant to stop that. A lasting ordinance, it says.
And it wasn't just for the Israelites either, was it?
No, good point. It explicitly says any alien living among them, so non-Israelites who were part of the community, they have the same rule. Bring the sacrifice to the tent of meeting or you're cut off too. Same standard for everyone there.
Okay, so location was key. But then the chapter really digs into blood, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's maybe the even bigger theme here. A really strong prohibition against eating blood.
Right. The text says, any Israelite or any alien living among them who eats any blood, I will set my face against that person and will cut him off.
Yeah. Incredibly stark language. Set my face against. That implies, direct divine opposition.
And the reason they give is, well, it's profound.
It really is.
For the life of a creature is in the blood. It says it twice, basically. And I have given it to you to make atonement for yourselves on the altar. It is the blood that makes atonement for one's life.
Life is in the blood. And that blood, because it represents life, is given specifically for atonement on the altar.
Atonement meaning, like covering or reconciling.
Exactly. Making things right. Covering sin or impurity. That sacred purpose meant blood wasn't for just drinking or eating.
So you must not eat the blood of any creature, because the life of every creature is its blood. It's just hammering that point home.
It really is. And they even connect it to hunting, right? If you hunt an animal, you can eat.
You have to drain the blood.
Yeah, drain it out and cover it with earth. It's a physical act showing respect for that lifeblood connection. You're returning it, in a way, not consuming it.
Gotcha. Okay, and then quickly at the end, there are rules about animals found dead or killed by other animals.
Right, just briefly. Eating those made you ceremonially unclean.
Which meant?
Basically, you were temporarily unfit for participating in worship. You had to wash yourself and your clothes, wait till evening, then you were considered clean again.
And if you didn't?
Then you'd be held responsible. You face consequences for ignoring that uncleanness.
So, pulling this all together, what's the big picture from Leviticus 17?
Well, I think it really shows, first, the importance of a designated, proper place for worship. Centralization was key. Second, this incredible sacredness attached to life, represented by blood. Life belongs to God. And third, the very specific role of that blood in atonement. It had one designated use on the altar.
Yeah, it paints a picture of a world where physical actions, where you sacrificed, what you ate, how you handled blood, had really deep, direct spiritual consequences. The lines were drawn very clearly.
Absolutely. It defined belonging, purity, and how you related to God in very tangible ways.
These rules definitely give us a glimpse into, well, a very different way of seeing the sacred in the everyday, especially around life and death.
And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? If life is truly in the blood, and that blood's purpose is atonement, what does that connection really tell us about how they understood life itself and sin and, well, divine forgiveness?
That's a deep question. Definitely something to ponder.